So when you first got into composing, I know, like a little bit ago, I asked you the question about like how people kind of go about it in school, but I'd be curious, to transition from being a bass player into, composing your own music. Like, what kind of transition is that like? And um, yeah, maybe just talk a little bit about that.
Well, I was always interested in computers, and I had I had a bit of a piano background, as I said. Uh, so when I got a computer, the first thing I did was look for like free music software that I could use. I started with this program called SoundForge, which is just stereo audio. So I would have to like record parts, cut them, and then like create like say a bass line out of that, and then find some drum samples and make those separately, and then place those on top and mix them together. It was almost like early multi-tracking when you only had two tracks to work with.
Hmm.
Um, so it was kind of a natural evolution, and then from there I got into more complicated programs, and now I use Logic Pro Audio. Um, and then from the compositional angle, it was just kind of I got a shot from a friend of mine who owns a motion graphics company. And he said, "Do you want to put music to this? Like, I don't have anything, and I want to show it to my client, but I don't have any music for it." And so I wrote some stuff, and I sampled a police record, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. And you'd never know it was a sample of a police record. But anyway, so I did that, and he liked it, and then they made a spot out of it, and then I had a spot to go and show to some of the music houses that were hiring me to be a bass player on sessions when you see musicians like playing on sessions a lot for commercial music houses. And the creative director there said, "Oh, this is pretty good. I'll throw you in the mix for the next time we have another spot." And so then I started writing spots for him, and then I landed a few, and then started writing more, and then started writing for more people, and it just kind of segued from there.
Yeah, so when it comes to, because again, I think there's a lot of facets of things that you do even now. I know
Yeah,
one of them is voice directing.
yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about how you get into voice directing? Because I know the story is a producer kind of made you do it. You had a choice between either doing it or nobody's getting their voice director that day. So I'd love to hear about that process, how that happened.
It just kind of happened where I was in the room, and the guy who was supposed to be voice directing the session was late, and and the talent was there, and it was union talent, and the clock's ticking, and I had sat in on enough sessions to know like the basics of how to get going, and I wound up doing most of the session with a lot of help from the engineer and the copywriter, who was a good friend. And then it gave me the confidence to keep doing it. I was also a voice actor as well, so I was being directed by the other directors in the city, some of whom are really great still to this day. So I learned a lot from them. And you know, um, like learning anything, you kind of watch and listen, and steal a couple of tricks here and there, and make up a couple of your own, and see what flies. And um, yeah, so it just kind of happened, and then before I knew it, I was doing that full time.